Next round, they face Walter State as Hackett takes ball one. So 1-1 the count on Hackett. He's the leadoff hitter for Cleveland State. And that's a ground ball to the shortstop. He'll throw to first. And that's out number one. So Jamer Strickland coming to the plate now for the Cougars. 1 out, nobody on. John Bilbrey on the mound for Volunteer State as he throws ball one to Strickland. The Cougars reaching this game after defeating Jackson State yesterday. That victory will propel them to this round here as they try to stave off elimination. And strike one to Strickland. The Pioneers fell late to Walter State in the game last night, 10-8. So they are here playing in this elimination game as a foul ball by Strickland makes the count 1-2. The winner of this game will go on to face Chattanooga State in the next round. Winner of that game will move on to the championship game to face either Walter State or Dyersburg State. And a hard hit ball to the right side, but it's foul, 1-2. So 1-2 count on Jammer Strickland. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the first inning. Winner moves on, loser is eliminated. Volunteer State with a lot of offense though when they come back in the bottom of the first. They scored 8 runs yesterday, 24 runs though in their first game against Jackson State. That's a ground ball up the middle and a throw to first by the shortstop. That's out number 2. So 2 down now for Caleb Longley. So with 2 outs now and nobody on, Caleb Longley makes his way to the plate for his first appearance of the game. Bilbrey with the pitch. And that's outside, 1-0. Walter State and Chattanooga State waiting in the wings for the semifinals. The 1-0 pitch from Bilbrey. That's outside, 2-0. Dyersburg State moving on past Columbia State to face Walter State. They'll have to beat the Senators twice, though, to make it to the championship game. The 2-0 pitch. That's in the dirt, 3-0 now to Longley. That's the same case for either Volunteer State or Cleveland State. The winner will have to beat the Chattanooga State Tigers twice in order to move on to the championship game. Neither of these teams has faced the Tigers yet. The 3-0 pitch. And that's outside corner. Strike one, 3-1 now. The Tigers moving on after a 6-4 victory over Columbia State yesterday. That moved them to the winner's bracket the next round, while Walter State beating this Volunteer State team. And that's ball 4. Longley will take first base with 2 outs. Caffrey at the plate. So runner at first now with 2 outs. Chris Caffrey at the plate now for Cleveland State. And the first pitch. And it's a ground ball right back to the catcher. And it's foul, 0-1. Over on the softball field, the Walter State Senators defeating Volunteer State 13-2 in the last game. They are now setting up for the championship game between Chattanooga State and Walter State. The Tigers are the regular season champions. The 0-1 pitch to Caffrey. And that pitch fouled off, 0-2. A reminder, you can find all of this on Twitter at TCCAA Region 7 BB. That Twitter handle will get you stats and updates throughout every one of the games. 0-2 the count on Chris Caffrey. And that pitch low for ball 1, 1-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. That gets away from the catcher though. But he'll throw to first for out number 3. So at the end of a half inning, it's no score. We'll be right back here on YouTube, so stick with us. And we're back here in the bottom of the first inning. No score between Cleveland State and Volunteer State right now. Darius Moses comes up to the plate to lead off for the Pioneers. Ranuel Perez on the mound for the Cougars. His first pitch is hit to the second baseman, who will flip it to first for out number 1. 1 down, Gilbert to the plate. Gilbert, the shortstop, stepping up to the plate for his first at-bat. 1 out, nobody on here for the Pioneers. They had an instant classic would be the best way to put it last night against Walter State. Tempers flared, benches cleared, coaches snarled, all of that and more last night as the Pioneers fell 10-8 to the Senators. Now on Gilbert. The 2-0 pitch. Ground ball is short. Fielded, throwing the first, and that's out number 2. 2 down now. McCown to the plate. So now with 2 outs and nobody on, Riley McCown comes up to the plate. He had a solo home run last night, part of the 8 runs that Volunteer State scored. And Perez with his first pitch. And it's high, ball 1, 1-0. The first game of the day was a barn burner with the Dyersburg State Eagles upsetting Columbia State 13-11. The Eagles of Dyersburg now moving on to face Walter State. That game will be at 4 o'clock, I take that back, 5 o'clock immediately following this game. That pitch inside 2-0. And a timeout called by Hunt. He will go to speak with Perez at the mound. A nice sunny day here in Chattanooga. Not too breezy either, which is probably to the disgust of Volunteer State, who has just been lighting the ball on fire and just out of the field so far in this tournament. Like I said, 24 runs in the first game, 8 last night. Home runs galore. The win probably would help them, but with their strength, it may not. And that's a high fly ball in the infield. Shortstop under it, and that's out number 3. So at the end of 1, there's still no score between Cleveland State and Volunteer State. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live, so stick with us. And we're back here in the top of the second inning between Cleveland State and Volunteer State. Connor Coakley leading off for the Cougars. He'll be followed by Anthony Hunt and Cole Baxley. His first pitch is fouled off, 0-1. Cougars with a fight in yesterday's game against Jackson State, upsetting the Generals to move on to this round. They're 1-1 on the tournament. They won their first game over Motlow State in the play-in round on Wednesday as he takes ball 1-1 now to Connor Coakley. Stick around on YouTube Live at 5 o'clock. It'll be Walter State and Dyersburg State. Winner of that moves on to the championship round. 2-1 on Coakley. The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, it's through the infield. A leadoff single for Connor Coakley. So with no outs and a runner at first, Anthony Hunt will walk up to the plate. So Hunt steps up to the plate now with a runner at first and no outs. His first plate appearance of the game.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think I'll go. I got a couple areas I can run for Miranda.
And that's a ball 1-2 Hunt. It's 1-0. One to know the count on Anthony Hunt, runner at first base with no outs here in the top of the second inning. A scoreless game between Cleveland State and Volunteer State. That ball high flyer into the center field, and that's out number 1. Runner will hold. So Cole Baxley now steps up to the plate for Cleveland State. 1 out, runner at first base. A scoreless game right now between the Cougars and Pioneers. First pitch. Fly ball right field. Briscoe under it, and that's out number 2. Runner will hold. He'll throw to first, but he's not in time. It looks like Jansen Robertson now to the plate for Cleveland. So Robertson at the plate. A note for Cleveland, they have been a kind of a late bloomer when it comes to offense. They've been playing better late in the games than early, so maybe that batting will come around later in the game as he takes strike 1. Runner at first base with 2 outs. 0-1 count on Robertson. We're in the top of the second inning. No score. Cleveland State and Volunteer State. Winner taking on Chattanooga State for a spot in the championship. Foul ball. Tigers of Chattanooga so far undefeated, so whichever team wins this will have to beat them twice in order to make it to the championship round. The 0-2 pitch. And that's high and outside, 1-2. A reminder, make sure to, if you can come out to the tournament, come out. $7 admission. You can come to the championship round tomorrow. Runner goes. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Bilbrey will flip it to first base, and that's out number 3. After an inning and a half, it's still no score. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live, so stay tuned. And Marlon Nava walks up to the plate to lead off this bottom of the second inning. It'll be Nava, Briscoe, and Brown for Volunteer State. There is no score between them and Cleveland State so far. Nava so far has been DHing. He got a little nicked up in the opener game against Jackson. The first pitch from Perez, and he'll foul that off 0-1. Janice Briscoe on deck. He's had a big tournament so far with a pair of home runs. He had a 3-run blast, and I'm using blast to the extent with that term into right field. A 3-runner game as Nava will take ball 1-1. Ground ball to short, field it, throw, and that's out number 1. So 1 down. Briscoe to the plate. So Janos Briscoe to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. He is one of the mini power threats for the Pioneers. And he'll foul that one off. It's in play, but Caffrey will not be able to get to it, so 0-1. Owen won the count on Briscoe. That pitch low, 1-1. He also had a home run in the first game against Jackson, but the one last night against Walters was just very memorable. I feel like it almost hit the softball field, all the way from right field. It's 2-1 on the right fielder, and Perez with the pitch. And it's a hard hit ball. That's in right field. A single for Briscoe with one out. He's at first base, and Adam Brown coming to the plate. So Briscoe on base. He is the first base runner for Volunteer State. That's their first hit of the game. With one out, he's at first. Adam Brown at the plate. Not too big of a game last night for Brown, but he had a grand slam as part of the 24 runs scored by Volunteer State against Jackson. So that power is there. And he takes ball 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch low again, 2-0 on Brown. Chris DeGuin on deck for Volunteer State. He's making his first appearance of the tournament, or at least first start. Throw over to first, Briscoe back safely. Two and 0 the count to Adam Brown. Perez with the pitch. And that's in there for strike one, 2-1. So runner at first now, one out, 2-1 on Brown. And that's low in the dirt again, 3-1. DeGuin on deck. He's looking for his first plate appearance of the game. This game, the second of 4 today. Dyersburg and Walter State will follow this game probably around 5 o'clock. And then around 8:30 tonight will be the winner of this game against Chattanooga State. And foul ball by Brown. The count is full now. Depending on the outcomes of those games, we could be seeing a pair of games tomorrow or just one championship game. Who knows? And that ball grounded to short. And he bobbles it. Throw to first. And he will make the play. Nice play by the first baseman, Caleb Longley. That's 2 outs now to go into the plate. Briscoe safe at second base, though. Oh, excuse me. It's Ogwin. So Chris Ogwin, runner at second, 2 outs. And he'll foul off that pitch, 0-1. Ogwin batting .273 on the year. And he has 1 home run with 13 RBIs. He has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, an 0-1 count in a scoreless game right now between Cleveland State. And Perez with the 0-1 pitch. And that's strike 2, 0-2 now on Ogwin. Catcher Gunnar Osborne on deck for the Pioneers. To the count on Ogwin, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. And Ranuel Perez with his 0-2 pitch. In there for strike 3, looking at the end of 2. Still no score between Cleveland State and Volunteer State. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And we're back here in the top of the third inning. No score between Cleveland State and Volunteer State. Bilbrey on the mound for the Pioneers. His first pitch to Blake Thomas. And it's in there for strike one, 0-1. And the next pitch outside again. Or outside, 1-0. Or 1-1, excuse me. And then 1-1 pitch high and outside again, 2-1. So 2-1 count right now on Thomas. He'll be followed by Wright, Hackett, and Jammer Strickland this inning. And he swings and misses for strike two. 2-2 now on Thomas. And timeout called by the second baseman. Wright, Hackett on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out so far in this game. And that pitch in the dirt for ball 3, 3-2. And that pitch is low again for ball 4, so Thomas will lead off the inning with a walk. Hackett to the plate now for Cleveland State. So Wright, Hackett coming to the plate now for the Cougars. He batted .348 during the regular season. And now he's looking to get Cleveland some runs right here as they'll throw to first, Thomas back safely. And the first pitch is fouled off. 0-1. So far, not much action through the first 2 innings between Volunteer State and Cleveland State. But knowing at least one of these teams, that could change at an instant. And that pitch outside, 1-1. Strickland on deck. He's 0 for 1 so far in this game. One and one the count on Hackett, runner at first base with no outs. A scoreless game between Cleveland State and Volunteer State. The 1-1 pitch, and that's swung and missed for strike 2. 1-2, Thomas safe in the second base on the steal. So 1-2 now on Wright, Hackett, runner at second base with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball through the middle. That's a hit for Hackett. Thomas will round third. He's heading home, and there is no play. It's 1-0 Cougars. Strickland to the plate. So with a runner at first base and no outs, Cleveland State taking the 1-0 lead over the Pioneers of Volunteer State on the RBI single by Wright, Hackett. Strickland now comes up to the plate looking to add to this surge of offense by the Cougars. And the first pitch from Bilbrey. Swung and missed. Strike 1. Hackett running, and he's safe into second. So 0-1 the count on Strickland now with a runner at second and no outs. 0-1 on Strickland. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out in his first at-bat. And timeout called by Jammer Strickland. So runner at second base with no outs. 1-0 lead now for Cleveland State here in the top of the third inning. The 0-1 pitch. And that's on the outside corner for ball one. 1-1 now on Jammer Strickland. So 1-1 now on Strickland. Runner at second base with no outs. Cougars putting 1 run in so far in this inning to give themselves the first lead of the game. And that's a hard hit ball, but foul. Back behind the plate, 1-2. So 1-2 now on Strickland. No outs. Runner at second base. Volunteer looking to hold them down to only 1 run. Ground ball to second, and that'll be fielded and throw to first. Runner is now at third base though, with 1 out. Caleb Longley makes his way to the plate. So runner at third base now, 1 out. Longley to the plate. He is hitless so far today. He had a walk in his first at bat. That pitch outside, 1-0. Caffrey on deck for the Cougars. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this game. The 1-0 pitch from Bilbrey. That's outside again. 2-0. We'd like to thank our sponsors EPB, Wendy's, and Moe's Southwest Grill. Without you, this tournament would not be possible here at the campus of Chattanooga State, so we thank you for your support. And that's ball 3 now to Caleb Longley. Three and 0 the count on Longley. 1 out, runner at third base. Cleveland State already with 1 run in this inning. That's a breaking ball outside, so Longley will walk again. Caffrey to the plate with a chance to prolong this inning and add some runs to the Cleveland State lead. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. But now he has a chance to add to the lead with runners at the corners and 1 out. Ground ball to second base, flip to short. He'll tag the bag, and that's a double play to end the inning. Not before a run comes in. It's 1-0 Cleveland State at the end of 2.5. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. Stick with us. And we're back here in the bottom of this third inning. Gunnar Osborne leading off for Volunteer State. Grant Hawkins and Darius Moses will follow him. First pitch is high for ball 1 to Osborne, his first plate appearance of the game. The 1-0 pitch. That's high, 2-0 now. So 2-0 count to Gunnar Osborne as he leads off this bottom of the third inning. Cleveland State leading Volunteer State 1-0. And he'll foul that off. Winner moving on to the next round to play Chattanooga State tonight with a chance to go to the championship round. Two and one the pitch. And ground ball. It's over the head of Caffrey. It'll bounce over, so that's a lead. Osborne. Grant Hawkins comes to the plate. So Grant Hawkins making his way to the plate for his first appearance of the game. No outs, runner at first base. Pioneers looking to tie this thing up with Cleveland State. And the first pitch is fouled off behind the plate. Looks like it could stay in play, but it will not. 0-1. So 0-1 the count on Hawkins. Darius Moses on deck for the Pioneers. He's 0 for 1 so far in this game. And the 0-1 pitch is inside, 1-1. Ranuel Perez on the mound for the Cougars, getting the start in this elimination game. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, left side. It's fair. He's in the first. He's rounding first for a double, and they're calling out of play. It looks like it went into the tarp. So it looks like Hawkins will go back to second and Osborne back to third as the ball went into the tarp. This isn't the first time this has happened. This has already caused an issue once so far in the tournament as we're deciding where the runners are going to go. If the umps are judging from when they signaled that the ball was lost, it should be runners at second and third, but it looks like they're going to hold. As of right now, it looks like Hawkins at third and a run in. But they're trying to decide where exactly. Yeah, it's going to be runners at second and third. No run in. Moses to the plate now with no outs and runners at second and third. But that's confirmed now.
Now batting for Ball State, number 3, Darius Moses.
So Moses at the plate now, no outs. And he has runners in scoring position in order to give the Pioneers the lead. And that pitch fouled off, 0-1. So 0-1 on Moses. 0 for 1 with a ground out in this game so far. Perez looking to hold on to this 1-0 lead that he was just given in the last inning. And the 0-1 pitch. And that's outside and high, 1-1. So 1-1 the count on Moses. Runners at second and third with no outs. Cleveland State leading 1-0, looking to hold on to that lead over Volunteer State. But the Pioneers are threatening. And Perez with his 1-1 pitch. That's in the dirt low, 2-1. Two and one the count. The pitch to Moses. And fly ball, middle center field. That's caught for the out. Throw home, runner will hold. So runners at second and third still with one out. So one out, runners at second and third. Hunter Gilbert at the plate now for Volunteer State. The inning so far has been a single by Osborne, a double by Hawkins, and then Moses with the fly out to give them the first out. It was not enough to get Osborne in, though. Perez with the pitch. And breaking ball outside corner, it's 0-1. Gilbert batting .348 on the year. Perez with the 0-1 pitch. And that's high, 1-1. Riley McCown on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a flyout in this game. And fly ball, right field, shallow. They won't get to it. That's a 1-run, and the runner's safe at second. So with one out, runners at second and third, it's a 1-1 ball game. McCown to the plate. So with one out, runners at second and third, McCown comes to the plate. 1 run in for Vol State. They've tied the game back up, and now they have a chance to add to this inning and give themselves their first lead of the game. And the first pitch is high, 1-0. So 1-0 the count on McCown. Runners at second and third with an out. And the pitch from Perez. Swung and missed, 1-1. So 1-1 on McCown, on Riley McCown. Looking for his first hit and a chance to give the Volunteer State Pioneers their first lead of the game. The RBI double by Gilbert tied the game up here with Cleveland State. The 1-1 pitch. That's inside, 2-1. Winner of this game moving on to the next, or to the semifinal round to face Chattanooga State with a chance at the championship round. The 2-1 pitch. And that's in the dirt for ball 3-1 now on Riley McCown. Marlon Nava on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Three and 1 the count. The pitch from Perez. And that's inside. So he will walk to first. Bases loaded now for Marlon Nava. 1 out. Bases loaded, 1 out. 1-1 ball game between Volunteer State and Cleveland State. Marlon Nava at the plate now with a chance to bust this thing wide open. And the first pitch from Perez. High, 1-0. Two strong innings for Renell, Perez, and Cleveland State. But hitting some snags here as the Pioneers of Volunteer State have tied the game up at 1 apiece. And he'll foul that off, 1-1. Nava, the all-conference catcher, has been DHing for the last 2 games now after suffering a minor injury during the game against Jackson that opened the tournament for them. As he'll foul that pitch off. It's in play, but it'll carry out. 1-2 now. One and two, the count on Nava. Bases loaded, 1 out. Perez with the pitch, and that's a ground ball foul. The bottom of the 3rd inning, the score 1-1 between Volunteer State and Cleveland State. Both teams looking for a chance to get to the semifinals. One and two the count. The pitch from Perez. That's outside. It gets away from Anthony Hunt. Run goes. And he is safe at home. It's 2-1 Volunteer State. The runners will advance as well. It's runners now at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. 2-2 the count on Nava. And the Pioneers now have a 2-1 lead. Two and two the count on Nava. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball left field side, but foul. Perez and Nava battling right here. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 down now. Briscoe to the plate. So big strikeout right there for Renil Perez. As it looks like Cleveland State will go and have a quick discussion with their starting pitcher, because Janice Briscoe comes up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single, but has already hit a 3-run home run in this tournament. So the Cougars looking to get out of here unscathed. So Briscoe stepping up at the plate. He'll be facing Ronell Perez. 2 outs, runners at second and third. 2 runs in so far this inning for Volunteer State. They lead now over Cleveland State. Cougars looking to stop the damage right here. Ground ball, right field side, but foul. It's 0-1. Briscoe 1 for 1 in this game. He singled. Oh and 1 the count. Perez with the pitch. Fly ball behind the plate. It's foul. 0-2. Offense has not been a problem so far in this tournament for Volunteer State. 24 runs and 8 runs in their 2 games. They are leading 2-1 here against Cleveland State with runners at second and third and 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning of the second of 4 games today. Winner of this one moves on to play Chattanooga State tonight at between 7 and 9 p.m. That pitch high, 1-2. The long Dyersburg Columbia game has pushed the schedule back at least an hour. 1-2 the count. And timeout called. A reminder to follow us on Twitter at TCCAA Region 7BB. That's our handle. Get scores, stats, and updates from every game in the tournament right there. 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Perez with the pitch. And that's low. 2-2. 2-2 the count to Briscoe. Perez coming set. And the pitch. Swung and fouled off. It's 2-2 still. And strike 3. Briscoe will strike out looking at the end of 3. Volunteer State leads 2-1. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. Connor Coakley at the plate now for Cleveland State, leading off the top of the 4th inning. Cougars losing their lead, now down a run. It's 2-1 Volunteer State. Bilbrey with his first pitch. It's low and in the dirt, 1-0. And what started as a scary inning for Cleveland State They only got out with 2 runs given up. 2 big strikeouts to end the inning by Perez helped the Cougars escape with only that damage. 2-0 now on Coakley. 2 big hits to lead off the inning for Volunteer State in that half. Ground ball up the middle. That's through. And a leadoff single for Connor Coakley. So now Anthony Hunt comes up to the plate. Coakley with his second hit on the day. Hunt 0 for 1 with a flyout as he looks to get the Cougars back in this game. The first pitch from Bilbrey. He'll throw to first. Coakley back safely. Cole Baxley on deck for Cleveland State. This is the second game of 4 today. The first game going Dyersburg State's way. They won 13-11 in a barn burner over Columbia State. They move on to face Walter State following this one. Strike 1 to Hunt. Owen won the count. Throw over to first. He's back safely. And the 0-1 pitch. It's low, 1-1. One and one the count. Bilbrey looking to make his next pitch. What's that like in the corner? And a check over. It's still 1-1. Runner back safely. And that ball's low, 2-1. I guess you can't change it. Whatever. 2-1 the count on Hunt. Runner at first base with no outs. Cleveland State down 2-1 to Volunteer State. And Bilbrey with the pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. It's 2-2 now. Two and two the count on Hunt. No outs, runner at first. The pitch coming from Bilbrey. Runner goes. Foul ball. So 2-2 still on Anthony Hunt. He's 0 for 1 on the game so far. He has a runner at first base and no outs. The 2-2 pitch from Bilbrey. He'll throw to first. He's back safely. Cole Baxley, who's 0 for 1 on the game, coming up next. Chattanooga State softball team winning 8-7 in the championship game over Walter State. Next door, the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, right field in the foul territory, but it'll drop. Count will stay the same at 2-2. So 2-2 still the count on Anthony Hunt. Top of the fourth inning. 2-1 Volunteer State leading over Cleveland State. Ground ball shortstop. Runner safe at second, out at first. Close play, but Coakley will make it into first safely. So runner at second now with 1 out, Baxley to the plate. One out, runner at second base. Coakley going on the pitch, so he made it safely. Close play there. Luckily, they turned it around and threw to first to get Hunt going to first base. So 1 out. Baxley at the plate. Oops. Baxley at the plate. He is 0 for 1 so far in this game. First pitch in there for strike 1, 0-1. So 0-1 count on Baxley. He has 1 out and a runner at second base. That runner representing the tying run for Cleveland State. Bilbrey with the pitch. Ground ball left side. It's through. That's a single for Baxley. They'll hold the runner at third base. The runner's at the corners now with 1 out. Jansen Robertson to the plate. So Robertson coming to the plate. Runners at first and third with 1 out. 2-1 ball game. Volunteer State leading here in the top of the 4th inning. This game already feeling like the first game, a slow mover. The first pitch. Fouled off, 0-1. Oh and 1 the count on Robertson. He is 0 for 1 with a ground out so far in this game. And a throw over to first. Baxley back safely. Blake Thomas on deck for Cleveland State. He walked in his first at bat. Bilbrey with the 0-1 pitch. And pitch inside, strike 1. Or strike 2, excuse me. 0-2. Oh and 2 the count. That pitch grounded to the third base. And an air throw home. He's safe. So they will tie the ball game. Ground ball to third base, bobbled by Aaron Brown. It goes behind him. Gilbert will field it, throw it home, but not in time. Thomas to the plate. So big play there for Cleveland State. They've tied the game up at 2 apiece. On the single by Robertson, infield single by Robertson. Runners at second and first now with 1 out. Thomas at the plate looking for his first hit. He walked in his previous at bat. It's now a tie. It's a tie ball game once again, 2-2. Bilbrey with his first pitch. Bunt down third base line. Brown will field it, throw to first. That's an out. Runners will move to second and third, though. Hackett to the plate. Oops. So runners at second and third now with 2 outs. Right Hackett at the plate. He's already knocked in 1 run today with an RBI single in his last at bat. He has the chance to give Cleveland State the lead again. It's tied 2-2 here in the top of the 4th. The first pitch. Fly ball right field. Briscoe tracking it, and he brings it in for out number 3. 1 run in, though. It's 2-2 again after 3.5. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live, so stick with us. And we're back here in the bottom of the 4th inning between Volunteer State and Cleveland State. The score 2-2 right now as Cleveland State puts another run in the last half inning. Adam Brown leading off. He'll be followed by Chris O'Gwin and Gunnar Osborne. Perez with his first pitch. And that's fouled off 0-1. Owen won the count. Perez with the pitch. And that's low and in the dirt. 1-1. Brown 0 for 1 in this game so far. He grounded out in his first at bat. He also bobbled the ground ball to third that led to the second run for Cleveland State in the last half inning. As he takes that pitch high, 2-1. And now Perez with the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball, but behind the plate, out of play, 2-2. Gunnar Osborne on deck. I take that back. Chris O'Gwin on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this game so far. The 2-2 pitch coming from Perez. And he fouls that off. Count stays the same. Folks, make sure to follow the Twitter account if you have to step away from the computer that you're watching this on. At TCCAA Region 7BB is the handle. You can get scores and updates from every half inning of every game in the tournament. It's handy when you're on the move. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball inside, full count. The 3-2 pitch coming from Perez. Foul ball, count stays the same. Two and two the score. 2-2 the score right now between Volunteer State and Cleveland State. The 3-2 pitch to Adam Brown is low for ball 4. So Brown will take first base with no outs. O'Gwin to the plate. And O'Gwin at the plate now for Volunteer State. Runner at first base with no outs. That pitch low for ball 1, 1-0. Perez so far solid through 3. 2 runs allowed in the last half inning that gave up the lead, but Cleveland State fought back in their last half inning to tie it back up. Perez with the 1-0 pitch. And that's low again, 2-0. As it looks like Anthony Hunt, the catcher, will go and speak with his pitcher. A reminder after this game, Walters State and Dyersburg State. That game has championship implications on it. If Walters State wins, they will move on to the championship. If Dyersburg State wins, we will play again tomorrow. That game following this one here on YouTube Live on the TCCAA Region 7 Baseball Tournament channel. The 2-0 pitch. Foul ball, 2-1. And liner through the infield. That's a single. Runner will move to second, so second and first now with no outs for Osborne. Gunnar Osborne to the plate now. He is 1 for 1 with a single so far in this game. Runners at second and first with no outs. Perez's first pitch is low, 1-0. Looks like some action in the Cleveland State bullpen. Number 23, Brandon Leonard warming up for the Cougars. 1-0 the count. And that pitch low, 2-0. So 2-0 on Osborne. He has runners at second and first with no outs. This game tied 2-2 right now. That pitch outside, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. And that's ball 4. So bases loaded now for Grant Hawkins. And no outs so far in the inning. And it looks like Coach Mike Policastro will go and speak with Perez on the mound. Bases loaded now. And with Grant Hawkins at the plate, he's 1 for 1 with a double in this game so far. Grant Hawkins at the plate now for Volunteer State. Brandon Leonard warming up for Cleveland State in their bullpen. Bases loaded, no outs. 2-2 ball game. Vol State looking to move or get the lead right here. That first pitch outside, ball 1. Perez with a strong first 2 innings, but starting to get hit these last 2 for Cleveland. His pitch in there for strike 1, 1-1. Leonard, who's warming up in the bullpen, 13 appearances with an 8.25 ERA on the season for the Cougars. The 1-1 pitch. Swung and missed, 1-2. Bases loaded, no outs. Volunteer State looking to bust this game open. It's tied 2-2 right now. Winner moves on to face Chattanooga State. The 1-2 pitch. And he will hit Hawkins. That run will walk in. 3-2 now, Volunteer State. Base is still jacked for Dearis Moses. And Mike Policastro heading to the mound to take the ball from Ronel Perez. Brandon Leonard coming in, as it looks like we will take a short break. Volunteer State now leading 3-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning over Cleveland State. And we're back. Dearis Moses on the mound, or at the plate now for Volunteer State. Brandon Leonard pitching for Cleveland State. He enters with a bases loaded situation and no outs. A run was just walked in to give the Volunteer State Pioneers a 3-2 lead as Moses takes ball one. He's 0 for 2 so far in this game. The 1-0 pitch. That's high, 2-0. Hunter Gilbert on deck. He knocked in a run on a double in his last at bat. The 2-0 pitch high, 3-0. Cleveland State in danger of walking another run in. Number 12, Ryan Mahaffey in the bullpen, and that's ball 4. Another run walked in. It's 4-2 now. Volunteer State. Gilbert at the plate. So Hunter Gilbert coming to the plate now. No outs, bases loaded. 2 runs walked in, one by Perez, one by Leonard. Ryan Mahaffey in the bullpen now for Cleveland State, the lefty, as Gilbert takes strike 1 from Leonard. Owen won the count for Gilbert. Breaking ball fouled off, 0-2. Riley McCown on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a walk in this game. What looks like a good game next door with the softball team. 8-8. Walter State and Chattanooga State tied in the final game. Fly ball to right. Catch made by Strickland. He'll throw it to first base. They can't get the runner. So 1 out now. Runners will hold at all bags. And number 4, Riley McCown at the plate. The bases are still loaded. McCown at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a flyout and a walk in this game. With 1 out now. Volunteer State looking to add some more. And strike one. Oh, and 1 the count to McCown. Ground ball to short. Flip the second. 1 down. First. 2. So double play gets Cleveland State out of the inning, but not before 2 runs by Volunteer State. It's 4-2 Pioneers. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And Jamer Strickland comes up to the plate to lead us off here in the top of the 5th inning. Cleveland State down 4-2 to Volunteer State. The Cougars walking in 2 runs in the last inning. Ground ball to short. A play made, throw to first by Gilbert, and that's out number 1. Hunter Gilbert with a great play at shortstop. And looks like Caleb Longley to the plate. So Caleb Longley to the plate. He is hitless, but he has walked twice so far in his 2 at-bats. Bilbrey with the first pitch. That's fouled off 0-1. Chris Caffrey follows Long in the order for Cleveland State. And timeout called as a ball is in right field. All right, we're back 0-1, 1 out. The pitch to Longley. Fly ball right in front of the plate. Catch is made by Gunnar Osborne. 2 down now. Caffrey to the plate. So Chris Caffrey will come up to the plate. 2 outs, nobody on. Cleveland State down 4-2 at this point. And timeout called. Bilbrey with the pitch. That's high, 1-0. So 1-0 the count on Caffrey. Nobody on, 2 outs. Fly ball to right. Briscoe tracking under it. That's out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Bilbrey. At the end of 4.5, it's 4-2 Volunteer State. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And we're back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Volunteer State leading Cleveland State 4-2. Marlon Nava will lead off for the Pioneers. He's followed by Janos Briscoe and Adam Brown. Brandon Leonard on the mound for the Cougars. He relieved Renewal Perez, the starting pitcher. His first pitch is grounded to second base. It's through for a leadoff single. So runner at first base now, Briscoe to the plate. So Briscoe now at the plate for Volunteer State, runner at first base with no outs. And a bunt attempt. I'm not sure if he fouled that off, though, or that went by him. That was a very confusing situation where the catcher was at one point. Oh, they're going to call foul ball. So 0-1. The catcher at one point was under the legs of Briscoe. And they're going to say, oh, never mind. They're going to say Briscoe has been hit by the pitch, so he goes to first base. And the home plate umpire calling a hit by the pitch on Janis Briscoe. Adam Brown coming up to the plate. Coach Mike Polycastro questioning the call right there. A little confusing. So runners now at second and first for Adam Brown. And hard hit ball to center field by Brown. It's carrying. It'll be at the wall, caught and centered. Runners will tag up. Only Nava will tag up, so runners at first and third now with an out. O'Gwyn to the plate. O'Gwyn 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout in this game. He has runners at first and third with 1 out. 4-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And breaking ball gets away from Leonard, but caught by Hunt. It's 1-0. And that pitch away again, 2-0. Gunnar Osborne on deck. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk in this game. Runners at Briscoe at first, Nava at third. 1 out, 2-0 pitch. Outside, looked like it maybe got the outside corner, but umpire saying no, 3-0. The pitch. And ball 4. So 4 straight balls by Leonard will walk O'Gwyn. Gunnar Osborne comes to the plate with bases loaded and 1 out. Cleveland State in yet another bases loaded situation. This is their second straight inning. They walked in 2 runs during the last inning to give Volunteer State the 4-2 lead. Walter State and Dyersburg State will follow this on YouTube Live. Stay tuned for start times. That'll also be posted on the Twitter account TCCAA Region 7 BB. And the first pitch to Osborne fouled off. 0-1. I'm glad there's a wall between the Walter State players warming up in the tunnels on the first base side and the Volunteer State players in the first base dugout. There were some emotions flying in last night's game between these two teams, as Osborne will foul that pitch off. It's 0-2. The winner of this game facing Chattanooga State. That game will be tonight, the last game of the day, with one of these teams having to beat the Tigers twice in order to move on to the final round. Ground ball through the infield. 1 run in. Briscoe rounding. He's in. It's 6-2 Volunteer State. 1 out. Runners at second and first for Grant Hawkins. So 1 out, runners at second and first. 2 runs in for Volunteer State. They lead Cleveland State 6-2 now. Ryan Mahaffey warming up still for Cleveland State. And Hawkins went for the bunt. He missed strike 1. Hawkins 1 for 1 so far today. He doubled in his first at bat. And a run was brought in on when he was hit by a pitch in his last one, during the 2 runs scored in the last inning. Since the third inning, 2 runs an inning for Volunteer State as he takes ball 1, 1-1. 6-2 the Pioneers leading over the Cougars of Cleveland State. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, and that's in there for strike 2. 1-2. Chattanooga State leading Walter State's softball team 10-8. That game next door, the championship matchup between the two teams. And a liner, it's over the head of the second baseman. That's a hit. And a run comes in at 7-2 now, Volunteer State, with Moses to the plate. So Dearies Moses now at the plate for Volunteer State. 1 out, runners at second and first after the RBI single by Grant Hawkins. One out, Cleveland State allowing 3 runs this inning, looking to get out of here with no more damage done, as the Cougars pitching has hit a wall right now. Brandon Leonard on the mound. Bunt, but behind the plate, it's foul, 0-1. On Moses. Runners at second and first with an out. Leonard with the pitch. Swung and fouled off. 0-2. Hunter Gilbert on deck. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI double so far today. Moses 0 for 2, but he walked and brought in a run in his last at bat. The 0-2 pitch. Outside corner for strike 3. So 2 down. Gilbert to the plate. So Gilbert will come up to the plate with the runners at second and first and 2 outs. Volunteer State leading 7-2. 3 runs this inning for the Pioneers. So he'll foul that first pitch off. It's 0-1. Gilbert 1 for 3 on the day. He has an RBI double so far. Riley McCown on deck. He's 0 for 2. That pitch high, 1-1. So 1-1 now on Gilbert. 2 outs, runners at second and first. We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Volunteer State leading Cleveland State 7-2. And another fouled off pitch by Gilbert. It's 1-2. McCown on deck for Volunteer State. 1-2 the count on Gilbert. 2 outs. Runners at second and first. 3 runs in so far for the Pioneers. That's a ground ball to second base. He'll flip it to the bag and tag for out number 3 at the end of 5.5. It's 7-2 Vol State. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And we're back here in the top of the 6th inning. Connor Coakley leading off for Cleveland State. He'll be followed by Anthony Hunt and Cole Baxley. And Coakley will take the first pitch for ball 1. He's 2 for 2 so far in the game for Cleveland State. Cougars down now 5 runs to Volunteer State. 7-2 the score. Strike 1 to Coakley, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And it's low, 2-1. John Bilbrey on the mound, the starting pitcher for Volunteer State. The 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ball. That's over the head of the shortstop. That'll go into the gap. Coakley will stop at first for his third single. He's 3 for 3 on the day. Anthony Hunt to the plate. So Anthony Hunt now at the plate for Cleveland State. No outs, runner at first base. Connor Coakley with a 3 for 3 day. 3 singles for him. And the first pitch to Hunt. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He'll flip to second. Gilbert tags the bat, throws the first, and that's a double play. Vol will double up the Cleveland batters, or the Cleveland runners. Baxley to the plate now for the Cougars. So after the leadoff single, Anthony Hunt will ground into a double play. 2 down now, nobody on. Cole Baxley at the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single. And that's a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. That's high, 2-0 now on Baxley. Jansen Robertson on deck. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI single in this game. The 2-0 pitch. High again, 3-0 on Baxley. The 3-0 pitch. Strike 1. 3-1 now on Cole Baxley. Baxley batting .340 during the regular season. Looking to get some runners back on base for the Cougars right there as he'll foul the pitch off, 3-2. So full count on Baxley. Nobody on, 2 outs. Volunteer State leading 7-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. And fly ball behind the plate, but foul. Count will stay the same. So 3-2 count, 2 outs, nobody on. And John Bilbrey with the pitch for Volunteer State. Ground ball left side, but foul. Three and 2 the count, the pitch. Swung and missed. Baxley will strike out after 5.5. It is 7-2. Vol State. We'll be right back here on YouTube. And we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Riley McCown leading off for Volunteer State. He'll be followed by Marlon Nava and Janos Briscoe. His first pitch is taken low, 1-0. Pioneers leading 7-2 here in the bottom of the 6th, as they've scored all 7 runs in the past 3 innings on Cleveland State. That is a single up the middle to lead off the inning. So runner at first now with no outs for Marlon Nava. Nava 1 for 3 on the day so far. He singled in his last at bat. He comes up now with a chance to add to this lead for Volunteer State. And Leonard with the first pitch. That's outside for ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. And he'll foul that off. 1-1 now on Nava. Runner at first base with no outs. The 1-1 pitch coming from Brandon Leonard. That breaking ball high, 2-1. Ryan Mahaffey still warming up in the bullpen for Cleveland State. The 2-1 pitch, runner goes, throw to second is wild. Riley McCown, but the center fielder will back him up, so McCown will stay at second base. It's 3-1 on Nava. Runner at second with no outs. And that pitch high for ball 4. So Nava will take first base, no outs, runners at second and first for Janos Briscoe. Runners at second and first, no outs. Briscoe at the plate. And he'll take ball 1. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled in his first at bat, struck out in his second one, and was hit by a pitch in his third. Count 1-0. And he'll foul that pitch off 0-1. Or 1-1, I mean. That pitch outside, 2-1 now on Janos Briscoe. Two and 1 the count on the right fielder. That pitch in there for strike 2, 2-2 now. The 2-2 pitch. Swung and missed for strike 3. So 1 down. Brown to the plate. Brown steps up to the plate. 0 for 2 so far in this game. He's grounded out, flown out, and walked. That pitch in there for strike 1, 0-1. Pitch outside corner, 1-1. So 1-1 the count on Brown. Runners at second and first with an out. Brandon Leonard with the pitch. Ground ball to third. It's through. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Brown will hold at second with the double. So with 1 out and a runner at second base, it's 9-2 now, Volunteer State. Chris O'Gwyn to the plate. O'Gwyn 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. He walked in his last at bat. And it looks like Ryan Mahaffey will be coming in for Cleveland State, as that is the end of the day for Brandon Leonard. We'll be right back after the pitching change. And we're back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Chris O'Gwyn at the plate for Volunteer State. 1 out, runner at second. 2 runs have come in so far this inning. Ryan Mahaffey on the mound for Cleveland State, and his first pitch is fouled off 0-1. The lead now 9-2 Vol State. Oh, and 1 the count. Breaking ball inside. It's 1-1. One out, runner at second. 1-1 the count on O'Gwyn. Mahaffey with the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Number 30, Matt Hinshaw, warming up now for Cleveland State in the bullpen. 1-2 the count. And the pitch coming from Mahaffey. And fly ball center field, tracking under it. And that's out number 2. Runner will hold at second base. Gunnar Osborne to the plate. So runner at second base now with 2 outs. Gunnar Osborne to the plate. He is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs so far today. And the first pitch from Mahaffey is in there. for strike one. The 0-1 pitch. And that pitch is outside, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch coming. High, 2-1. Ryan Mahaffey on the mound. 7 appearances, 6.75 ERA for the left-hander. He faces Gunnar Osborne, who batted .319 on the season and has already knocked in 2 runs so far today. The 2-1 pitch. Swung and missed, 2-2. Grant Hawkins on deck. He knocked in a run on a single in his last at-bat. The 2-2 pitch from Mahaffey. Ground ball, third base. Goes off Caffrey's glove and off his head. And they will score a run, but the Cleveland State third baseman is hurt. The ground ball bouncing up off his glove, hitting him in the head. As the trainer is coming out. And we'll take a quick injury timeout. We'll come back with a update on Chris Caffrey after this break. All right, we're back. Chris Caffrey walking and seems to be okay. He is back in the dugout. They're going to sub him out, though. Austin Phillips, number 22 for Cleveland State, now in at third base. So Grant Hawkins now at the plate for Volunteer State. Runner at first base with 2 outs. He's 1 for 2 so far today with 2 RBIs. He's singled in a run in his last at bat. Runner at first, 2 outs. And strike 1. Volunteer State bringing in another run on that last play. Adam Brown coming home. It's 10-2 now. Pioneers, the pitch. And that one's in there, 0-2. Oh and 2 on Hawkins, runner at first base with 2 outs. 10-2 lead Volunteer State over Cleveland State. Ground ball to short. He will throw to first, and it will not be in time. That is an infield single for Hawkins. Moses to the plate now. Moses 0 for 3 so far in this game. He brought in a run on a walk. Two outs, runners at second and first. Mahaffey with the pitch. And swing and a miss, 0-1. Oh, and 1 the count on Moses. Runners at second and first with 2 outs. He's still looking for his first hit on the game. And timeout called by Ryan Mahaffey. Seems like he did not like the pitch selection right there. Hunter Gilbert on deck. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI double in this game so far. The 0-1 pitch. And in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 now on Moses. After 2 scoreless innings by Cleveland State. 2, 3, and 3 in the last 4. Those have been runs brought in by Volunteer State as the offense has opened up. That breaking ball close. I thought that was in there for a strike. It'll be ball 2. 2-1 now on Jairus Moses. If there's been one team with a big offense so far in this tournament, it has been Volunteer State as he takes strike 2, 2-2. 24 runs in the first game against Jackson, 8 runs against Walter State last night, and then 10 runs so far in this game right now with room to add some more. The 2-2 pitch. And he swings and fouls it off. 2-2 still. Two and two. Moses. Runners at second and first with 2 outs. And a check. Swing, it'll be foul. 2-2 still. The 2-2 pitch from Mahaffey. And it will ring him up for strike 3, but not before 3 runs come in. It's 10-2 Volunteer State. We'll be right back after this short break. And we're back here in the top of the 7th inning. Jansen Robertson leading off for Cleveland State. He's followed by Blake Thomas and Wright Hackett. 3 more runs in the last inning gives Volunteer State a 10-2 lead over the Cleveland State Cougars. As Robertson takes ball 1. Winner of this game moves on to face Chattanooga State in the semifinals. Ground ball up the middle. And Robertson on first with a leadoff single. No outs. Blake Thomas at the plate. So Thomas to the plate now. Robertson at first base. No outs. Thomas 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk in this game. Check swing. But he went around. It's 0-1. Cougars struggling with their pitching and unable to keep up offensively right now with Volunteer State. Looking to mount some sort of a rally right here as they take the pitch low, ball 1. Don't say they're out yet, though, as that was the case with Dyersburg State for a little while in the last game against Columbia State. The Eagles came roaring back to beat Columbia 13-11 and move on to the semifinals. That pitch in the dirt gets away from the catcher. It's 2-1. Throw to second. Robertson is safe. So runner at second now with no outs for Cleveland State. 2-1 the count on Blake Thomas. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. Volunteer State leading Cleveland State 10-2. In the second of 4 games today in the TCCAA Region 7 baseball tournament. The 2-1 pitch. And that's low. It gets away from the catcher again. A throw to third. Robertson is safe again. 3-1 now on Thomas. And Jansen Robertson has moved 2 bases. He's now at third with no outs. Three and 1 the count on Thomas. Bilbrey with the pitch. And that's ball 4. So he will walk. Runners at the corners now with no outs. Wright Hackett to the plate. He already has an RBI single today. 1 for 3 on the game. As it looks like a meeting at the mound for Volunteer State. John Bilbrey, the starting pitcher, so far 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 Ks with 4 walks. Take this time to remind you to follow us on Twitter at TCCAA Region 7 BB is the account. Get scores and stats and updates from every game in the tournament. It'll be as close to up to the minute as we can. Hackett at the plate now for Cleveland State. Runners at first and third with no outs here in the top of the 7th. Cougars down 8 runs. Trying to fight off elimination right here. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. And 0-1 the count. Thrower to first, and Thomas back safely. The 0-1 pitch. And a liner into center field. It gets by the center fielder. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Hackett will hold at third for a triple, and it's a 10-4 ball game now with Jamer Strickland at the plate. So Jamer Strickland comes to the plate now. He's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts so far on the day. No outs, runner at third base after a bases clearing triple by Wright Hackett. It's 10-4 now as Cleveland State adds 2 more to their score. The first pitch from Bilbrey, and that's high and outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled off, 1-1. Count 1-1 on Jamer Strickland. And he'll foul off that pitch 1-2 now. Caleb Longley on deck. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a flyout in the game so far. Strickland looking for his first hit and to keep this rally going. Cleveland State down 10-4. No action in the bullpen for Volunteer State, as they'll stick with John Bilbrey for right now. And outside, 2-2. A reminder after this game, Walter State and Dyersburg State. If Walter State wins, they will move on to the championship round. If Dyersburg State wins, the 2 teams will play again on Sunday. The 2-2 pitch. And that's in the dirt. 3-2. So 3-2 the count on Jamer Strickland. Runner at third with no outs. And a single through the middle. It's 10-5. Strickland at first base with no outs and Longley to the plate. So now Caleb Longley makes his way to the plate. He is 0 for 1 with a flyout and has walked twice so far today. Now with a runner at first base and no outs, he looks to add to this rally. 3 runs in for Cleveland State so far. They've cut the lead to 5. And now some action in the Vol State bullpen. Number 31, Jonathan Jacks, starting to stretch for the Pioneers. 0-1 the count. And that pitch outside, ball 1. 1-1 on Longley. A check down the first and Strickland back safely. Austin Phillips on deck. He is playing for the injured Chris Caffrey, who left the game. The 1-1 pitch. And hard hit ball in the center field. Another hit for the Cougars. Second and runners at second and first now with no outs. Phillips to the plate for his first appearance. So runners at second and first now with no outs. Austin Phillips getting his first plate appearance of the tournament. He came in for Chris Caffrey after the injury in the last half inning. Cleveland State with 3 runs so far in this inning. It's 10-5 now, Vol State. They've cut the lead in half. Or cut the lead to half. And the first pitch in there for strike 1. Jamer Strickland at second. Caleb Longley at third. Phillips looking to add to the hit party and maybe cut this into a game. Jonathan Jacks getting warmed up for Ball State. Pitch inside, ball 1. Runners will hold. It's 1-1. One and one the count on Austin Phillips. Bilbrey with the pitch. Ground ball, second base. Flip to set short. Throw to first, and that's a double play. Runner will make it to third, but with 2 outs now, Coakley comes to the plate. So a double play puts 2 away for Cleveland State. So now 2 outs, but a runner at third base. And Connor Coakley comes to the plate. He is 3 for 3 with 3 singles so far in this game. Looking to add to the Cleveland State rally. First pitch inside, 1-0. And the pitch high, 2-0. So Coakley with a 2-0 count, 2 outs, runner at third. 10-5 game, Volunteer State leading Cleveland State, with the winner looking to move on to the semifinals. Bilbrey with the pitch. 3-0 on Connor Coakley. Anthony Hunt on deck. He's 0 for 3 so far today. And that pitch high for ball 4. So Coakley will take first base. Anthony Hunt to the plate. And with a final score of 10-8, the Chattanooga State Tigers softball team will defeat Walter State to win the Region 7 softball tournament. So the Tigers will move on to the regional. Runners at first and third. 2 outs. And Anthony Hunt at the plate. A swing and a fly ball right field side. That'll drop, foul ball, 0-1. One on Anthony Hunt. He's flown out, grounded out, and grounded into a double play so far today. He has an 0-1 count on him right here. And he'll foul that off 0-2. Runners at first and third. 3 runs so far in this inning coming in for Cleveland State. They've cut the lead to 5. It is 10-5 Volunteer State here in the top of the 7th inning. Matt Henshaw getting warm in the Cougar bullpen, while Jonathan Jacks gets warm in the Vol State bullpen. 0-2 count on Anthony Hunt. Cleveland looking to keep this rally going. They have 2 outs and runners at first and third. And timeout called by the Cougar catcher. Throw to first. And Coakley back safely. While the softball tournament is finished, make sure to check out those post-game interviews and all the games that have been played. They are recorded on this YouTube channel as he takes ball 1, 1, and 2. You can find all of those at the TCCAA Region 7 Tournament YouTube channel, which is the same one that this game is playing on right now. But don't worry, baseball action still going on. We have 2 more games tonight, the possibility of more tomorrow. 1 and 2 the count, runners at the corners, 2 outs, and a swing and a miss by Anthony Hunt. At the end of 6.5, it's 10-5 Volunteer State. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And we're back here in the bottom of the 7th. Hunter Gilbert leading off for Volunteer State as he takes ball 1. It'll be Gilbert, McCown, and Nava this inning. Gilbert 1 for 4 on the day with an RBI double. The 1-0 pitch, ground ball to short. Robertson with the throw to first. In time for out number 1. So 1 down, McCown to the plate. McCown at the plate now, 1 for 3 on the day so far. He had a single in his last at bat. Cleveland State bringing in pitcher Matt Hinshaw, the freshman looking to do some damage for the Cougars. And fly ball center field, that's in the gap. That'll drop. McCown heading to second, and that's a 1-out double for Volunteer State with Marlon Nava coming up. And Marlon Nava at the plate now. He's 1 for 3 so far today. He walked in his last at bat. Runner at second with 1 out. Volunteer State leading 10-5. And the pitch. And a hard hit ball, but foul. It's 0-1. Oh, and 1 the count on Nava. Runner at first base and 1 out. Volunteer State leading Cleveland State 10-5 right now. And the 0-1 pitch. Fly ball behind the plate. It's over and into the stands. And the count 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count on Nava. Runner at second base with an out. Hinshaw with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 down now. And Janice Briscoe to the plate. Briscoe 1 for 3 on the day. He had a single in the first. He struck out twice. Has also been hit by a pitch. Now with 2 outs and a runner at second, he looks to extend the inning for Vol State. Hinshaw with the pitch. And outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Checked. And they said he went around 1-1. One and one the count on Janice Briscoe. 2 outs, runner at second base. Cleveland looking to hold them Vol State without a run for the first time since the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Jonathan Jacks. And well, they don't have the number for the other guy. 2 arms warming up in the bowl. David Lankster warming up in the pen for Volunteer States. We may see a pitching change in the next inning. The 1-2 pitch from Hinshaw. And that's low, 2-2. Two and 2 the count. And Matt Henshaw with the pitch to Janice Briscoe. Foul ball. Count will stay the same. Adam Brown on deck. He is 1 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI double in his last at bat. And the 2-2 pitch from Hinshaw to Briscoe. Foul ball. Count will stay the same as Briscoe fighting in this at bat right here. Two and 2 the count on the Pioneer right fielder. The pitch. And a hard hit ball. It's fair. That'll bring 1 run in. It's 11-5 now. Briscoe rounding second, going to third. And it's a stand-up triple for the right fielder. 11-5 now. Volunteer State. Brown to the plate. So Adam Brown will step up to the plate now after the RBI triple by Janice Briscoe. It's 11-5 now, Pioneers. Brown steps to the plate with a 1 for 3 line today. He knocked in a run on a double, or 2 runs on a double in his last at bat. Now he has 2 outs on a runner at third base. Hinshaw on the mound. And foul ball 0-1. Chris O'Gwyn on deck. He's 1 for 3 on the day. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball right field. Tracking under it is Strickland. He puts the way for out number 3. 1 run in. It's 11-5 Volunteer State after 7. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And we're back here in the top of the 8th inning. Cole Baxley leading off for Cleveland State. He'll be followed by Jansen Robertson and Blake Thomas. 11-5 lead for Volunteer State as Baxley takes strike 1. John Bilbrey, the starting pitcher for Volunteer, still in the game. But Jonathan Jacks warmed up just in case Cleveland's offense gets going again. That pitch high, 1-1 now to Baxley. One and one the count. Hard hit ball left field, but foul. 0-2, or 1-2. Baxley 1 for 3 so far today. He has a single, a strikeout, and a flyout. That pitch outside, 2-2 now on Cole Baxley. Robertson on deck. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI single in the game today. Two and two the count. The pitch from Bilbrey. And blooper into right. And Hawkins will reach that one for out number 1. So Hawkins comes back, Robertson at the plate. So now Robertson walks up to the plate, 2 for 3 on the game. He had an RBI single earlier and singled in his last at bat as well. And a grounder to the shortstop. Gilbert throws, and that's out number 2. 2 down, Thomas to the plate. So now Blake Thomas at the plate. He is 0 for 2 with 0 for 1 with 2 walks. And strike 1 to Thomas. 0-1. Bilbrey with the pitch. And that's a ball 1-1 now to Blake Thomas. Right Hackett on deck. He is 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He had a 2-run triple in his last at bat. The 1-1 pitch. Foul ball 1-2 now to Thomas. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Wendy's, EPB, and Moe's Southwest Grill. Without them, this tournament would not be able to happen, and we thank them for their support of both the tournament and Chattanooga State baseball. The 1-2 pitch, and that's outside 2-2. Let's do it now after this inning. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball through the infield, and a single for Blake Thomas, and he will prolong the inning for Cleveland State. Hackett to the plate. So now Right Hackett to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first base. 2 for 4 on the game. His 2 hits, an RBI single and a 2 RBI triple, as it looks like Jonathan Jacks will be coming in for Volunteer State. We'll be right back after this pitching change here on YouTube Live. And we are back here in the top of the 8th inning. Runner at first base with 2 outs. Right Hackett at the plate. Jonathan Jacks now on the mound for Volunteer State. The Pioneers lead the Cleveland State Cougars 11-5 in this 8th inning. Jacks with his first pitch to Hackett. High for ball 1. Thomas reaching base on a single. He's there with 2 outs. 1-0 count to Hackett. Fly ball right center field. Tracking back is Moses, and it gets by him. 1 run in. Hackett in the third, and it's a 11-6 ball game now. Strickland at the plate. So Jammer Strickland coming to the plate now for Cleveland State. 2 outs, runner at third. 11-6 ball game now. Strickland 1 for 4 with an RBI single in his last at bat. Jacks with a pitch. And ground ball to Gilbert. Throw to first. And that's out number 3. So at the end of 7.5, it's 11-6 Volunteer State. We'll be right back here on YouTube Live. And we're back here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chris O'Gwyn, Garrett Osborne, and Grant Hawkins for Volunteer State here. Matt Henshaw still on the mound for Cleveland State. His first pitch. And it's fouled off, 0-1. Volunteer State holding on to the lead right now, 11-6 over Cleveland State here in the bottom of the 8th. With a win, one of the teams will move on to face Chattanooga State tonight in the semifinals. That pitch in the dirt, ball 1-1. Okay. So 1-1 on O'Gwyn. Osborne on deck. He's had a pair of hits so far today. Ground ball to second. And throw from Thomas is in time. That's out number 1. So Osborne to the plate now. 1 out, nobody on. He is 3 for 3 so far today with 3 RBIs. All 3 hits are singles. He also has a walk today. Henshaw with the first pitch. And swung and missed, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, ground ball to third, and the throw from Phillips, out number 2. So 2 down, Hawkins to the plate. So Hawkins at the plate now with 2 outs, nobody on. And Matt Henshaw with the pitch. And fly ball, it's foul, but it's still in play. Diving catch, just barely missed by Jammer Strickland. It's 0-1. 0-1 the count on Hawkins. 2 outs, nobody on. Volunteer State leading 11-6 over Cleveland State here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hinshaw with the pitch. That's low for ball 1, 1-1. And that pitch in there for strike 2. 1-2 now on Hawkins. One and two the count on Grant Hawkins. He is 3 for 3 so far today as he takes ball 2. And 2 RBIs in. He knocked in a run while getting hit by a pitch, and is also knocked in the run with a single. 2-2 the count on the second baseman for Vol State. Matt Hinshaw with the pitch. And fly ball behind the plate. Hunt tracking it down, and it'll hit the top. Out of play. Top of the dugout out of play. It's 2-2 now. Grant Hawkins batting .242 on the season. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, shallow center. Robertson under it, but Thomas will call and catch it for out number 3. So at the end of 8, it's 11-6. Volunteer State will be back for the top of the 9th here on YouTube Live. And we're back here. Caleb Longley leading off for Cleveland State in the top of the 9th inning as he takes strike 1. Longley 1 for 2 on the day. He singled in his last at bat. Jonathan Jack's looking to close this game out for Volunteer State and get them to the semifinals against Chattanooga State. 1-1 now the count. Following this game, it will be Dyersburg State and Walter State in the semifinals. With a win, Walter State will move to the championship. With a win by Dyersburg, we will play again tomorrow. 1-2 now the count after the foul ball on Longley. It's the same case for Chattanooga State and either Cleveland or Volunteer State. The winner of this game will have to beat the Tigers twice in order to move on to the final round. The 1-2 pitch from Jacks. Fly ball center field. Moses under it. That's out number 1. So 1 out, Austin Phillips to the plate now. Nobody on for him. He grounded into a double play in his only plate appearance of the game. And the first pitch from Jax. And liner right to Hunter Gilbert. That's out number 2. So Cleveland down to their last out. Coakley at the plate. So Connor Coakley at the plate. He has been the most productive hitter for Cleveland State today. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Now with 2 outs, he looks to prolong this game and keep Cleveland alive. And he will. His 4th single of the day. Jeez. So 4 singles on the day for Connor Coakley. He's 4 for 4. Anthony Hunt now at the plate. He is 0 for 4. He struck out in his last at-bat. So he looks to get a rally going for the Cougars. That pitch outside, 1-0. And he fouled it off, 1-1. Anthony Hunt looking to keep this Cougar season alive right here. He has a 1-1 count, 2 outs, runner at first base. Cleveland State down 11-6 to Volunteer State. A loss here will eliminate Cleveland State from the tournament. 1-2 now. Strike on the breaking ball from Jonathan Jax. The 1-2 pitch. And he will hit Hunt. So runners at second and first now with 2 outs. And Cole Baxley to the plate. Runners at second and first with 2 outs. Baxley to the plate now. Jax with the first pitch. Fly ball right field. It'll drop. 1 run in. And they'll hold the runner at third. It's 11-7 now. Jansen Robertson to the plate. So runners at second and third now with 2 outs. Jansen Robertson at the plate. He's 2 for 4 so far today. He already has an RBI single on the day. So he looks to keep this rally going for Cleveland State. It's 11-7 now. That pitch is high, 1-0. So 1-0 the count on Robertson. He grounded out in his last at-bat. The 1-0 pitch. And it swung and missed, 1-1. Blake Thomas on deck. He's 1 for 2 so far today. And a liner in the gap. That's down. 1 run in. 2 runs in. And Robertson at second base. It's 11-9 now. Cleveland State. And a quick meeting at the mound. Looks like some action in the bullpen for Volunteer State. Blake Thomas at the plate now. He's 1 for 2 so far today with a single and 2 walks. Now at the plate with 2 outs and out away from elimination. He is representing the tying run with a runner at second base. 11-9, Volunteer State with the lead here in the top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch from Jax. Ground ball through the infield. Robertson will round, and he has scored. It's 11-10 now. A 1-run lead for Volunteer State. Hackett at the plate. So right Hackett at the plate now, 2 outs. Number 14, Zach Malone warming up quickly in the Volunteer State bullpen. Runner at first, 2 outs. Hackett representing the leading run. Ground ball to third, and that will put the game away right there. A little scare for Cleveland State right there, or for Volunteer State right there, but they will get away with the victory. It's 11-10. They move on to the semifinal round to play Chattanooga State later tonight for a chance to go to the finals.
Folks, that's your final. Volunteer State 11, Cleveland. For Walter State taking on Dyersburg State.
Folks, stick around on YouTube Live here. Walter State and Dyersburg State will be next. With a victory, Walter State will move on to the finals. With a victory by Dyersburg, they will prolong the series, and there will be another game tomorrow. Same story for Chattanooga State and Vol State. If the Tigers win, they will move on to the finals, while if the Pioneers win, we will have a game tomorrow. But stick with us. The Walter State, Dyersburg State will be coming up next.